Let's be real. No cat owner ever wants to think about a medical emergency. I mean, the panic, that pit-in-your-stomach feeling of being totally helpless, it's overwhelming. But what if we could trade that fear for a plan? We're going to walk through how to navigate that crisis with confidence so you can be the hero your cat absolutely needs in that critical moment.
Okay, just picture this for a second. It's 2 in the morning, your cat is making these awful raspy sounds, and you can see their little sides heaving. This is not a drill. This is that moment every pet owner has nightmares about. And what you do right now, well, it could change everything.
And that's exactly what this is all about. We're going to take that raw, awful feeling of panic and transform it into a clear, step-by-step plan. Because when you're prepared, you're the one in control.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out what a true emergency looks like. Then, we're going to pull back the curtain on the ER system. It's a bit more complicated than you might think. We'll give you a smart transfer strategy, teach you exactly how to be your cat's advocate, and finally, we'll get you all set up before a crisis ever hits.
Okay, first things first. How do you know if it's a wait-and-see situation or a drop-everything-and-go-now emergency? Let's build your at-home triage toolkit.
These, right here, these are the absolute 100% non-negotiables. If you see any of these signs, you don't wait. You don't call your vet in the morning. You get to the nearest emergency clinic immediately. Especially trouble breathing. We're talking minutes, literally minutes, can be the difference between life and death. And for male cats, straining to urinate can turn fatal fast.
Now, while you're on your way to the vet, there are a couple of first aid moves you should know. First, choking. If your cat is choking and you can't see anything obvious in their mouth, you can try a feline Heimlich. You just lay your cat on their side and give a few firm, upward pushes right behind the ribcage. Sometimes that's all it takes to pop the object out.
And for the absolute worst-case scenario, if there's no breathing and no heartbeat, you can start CPR. Now, the key thing to remember here is that this is not about fixing the problem yourself. This is a bridge. It's just to keep blood and oxygen moving while you're racing to the vet. The whole goal is just to buy them a little more precious time.
So, you've made it. You're at the ER. And look, these places are lifesavers. They have incredible technology, but it is so important to understand the reality of how they actually operate.
This is really the central dilemma of the ER. On one hand, you've got this amazing 24/7 access to life-saving gear. On the other hand, these clinics are often staffed by brilliant but very recent graduates. This means they often rely on textbook medicine, listing every scary possibility and recommending tons of tests, because they just don't have those years of hands-on, gut-feeling experience yet.
And that reality can lead to some truly heartbreaking situations. The source author shared this painful story about a foster kitten. The ER had all the technology to keep him alive, but they couldn't actually cure him. And the emotional and financial cost of just prolonging his suffering instead of choosing a peaceful goodbye was just immense.
And yeah, the financial pressure can be absolutely crushing. When the author's own cat, Xena, got sick, her regular vet couldn't help. They just handed her an estimate for the emergency hospital for $7,000. The message was pretty clear. Find the money or you're looking at euthanasia.
The stakes are just so incredibly high. The source tells this devastating story of a cat with a totally treatable urinary blockage. But a technical mistake made by a young vet while placing a catheter, well, it killed him. Now, this isn't about pointing fingers. It's about understanding the very real risks that can come with clinical inexperience in these high-pressure moments.
So, knowing all this, what's the smartest way to handle it? The strategy is actually pretty simple. The main idea is this: use the ER for the emergency, but don't stay there for the recovery. So here's what that transfer plan looks like. 1. You let the ER do what they do best. Stabilize the immediate crisis. Stop the bleeding, get them breathing, unblock whatever needs unblocking. 2. The second your regular vet's office opens the next morning, you call them. And 3. As soon as your cat is stable enough, you arrange to transfer them over to their care.
So why is this such a game changer? Well, first off, you're going to save a lot of money. But honestly, what's even more important is you're getting continuity of care. You're going back to a vet who knows your cat's entire history. You're swapping that textbook medicine for trusted, hands-on clinical experience. And you're probably going to get much clearer, more direct communication.
Okay, so no matter where you are, at the ER or your regular vet's office, you have a massively important role to play. You have to be your cat's advocate. You are their voice. Let's give you some tools for that. This first question is a game changer.
It forces the vet to shift gears from just listing every scary possibility in the textbook and to actually apply their clinical judgment. It makes them act like a detective, not just a librarian cataloging diseases.
Next up, this question helps you take back some control of the finances. In a crisis, it's so easy to just get hit with a tidal wave of potential tests, asking what's truly essential for stabilization right now versus what can maybe wait for your regular vet. That can save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars.
And finally, this one. This might be the most powerful question you can ask. It just cuts through all the clinical detachment and asks for a simple human recommendation. It changes the conversation from what can be done to what should be done. And that often reveals a much more practical and compassionate path forward. You know, the absolute best way to handle an emergency is to get ready for it before it ever happens. So let's build your action plan right now.
All right, here are 4 things you can do this week, seriously. 1. Figure out where your local 24/7 clinics are and know how to get there fast. 2. Put together a little go bag. Food, meds, records, so you're not scrambling. 3. Get your carrier out of the back of the closet, keep it somewhere you can grab it in a second. And 4, have a financial plan, whether that's pet insurance or a savings account. A hard decision shouldn't be made harder because of money. When it all boils down, it comes to this one simple truth. Your cat can't speak for themselves. They can't tell the vet what hurts. They can't question a treatment plan. That's your job. You are their advocate. You're their guardian. You are their voice. The absolute best outcomes happen when a prepared, empowered owner partners with a skilled veterinarian. So, as we wrap this up, the final question isn't for me to answer. It's for you. Are you prepared to be their advocate?